we have a 4-digit integer, so I'm going to write it A, B, C, D. And it's increasing from left to right, which means A is less than B, which is less than C, which is less than D. We reverse the order of the digits, so D, C, B, A. And then the digits are going to decrease left and right. That makes sense because of the first result. And then a third 4-digit integer is used that use the same digits but in a different order. When we add all of these together, we get 26,352. We're asked for the value of the smallest of the three integers. Now, some immediate results arise. A must be greater or equal to 1. It can't equal 0 because it's a 4-digit number. And because it's got to be less than three other numbers, then the biggest it could be would be 6. So then we can have 7, 8, and 9 for the others. And similarly for D, it can't be 1, for example, because it has to have 3 digits less than it. So it's going to be greater or equal to 4 and less than or equal to 9. The next thing to observe is that 26,352 is quite big. In fact, we could work out the average of adding the numbers that we're adding up. The reasons for 26,252 go 8 here, then 7, 8, 4. So the average number is 8,784. So there's no way that D could be, say, 4, for example. We're not going to get close to 26,000. Let's just consider for a moment D equaling 8. Then this number here will be less than 9,000. And this number here will also be less than 9,000 because remember D was the biggest. So I've got 18,000. I need to make up another more than 8,000. There's no way that I can do that because remember, A is actually less than D by quite some margin. So we can reject that one. Must have D equal to 9 so that we can get this 26,352. So let's write down this updated version. We're going to have A, B, C, 9, and then 9, C, B, A, and then some other number, 26,352. Now remember, the biggest A could equal would be 6, and this number is less than 10,000 now, and this number is going to be less than 10,000, so I have to basically have A equal to 6 for this to possibly work, for us to get 6,000, because I've got a number that's less than 20,000 from these two numbers. So if A was 5, we'd only get another 5,000 and something. So need A equal to 6. We're getting somewhere. So now I've got 6, B, C, 9, and then 9, C, B, 6. We still have the same issue with the third number, and it's going to have to be really big to get us close to 26,000. So I'm going to have to put a 9 here as well. Because now you can see I've got these two numbers that are less than 20,000. To get more than 6,000, we're going to need to have the 9 here. If we had, say, an 8 here, then now this would actually be less than 19,000 and we wouldn't be able, this would have to then be more than 7,000. So it's got to be a 9 here. We just don't know where the 6 is going or where the B and the C are going. But we're getting there. We've only got two things that we don't know now in terms of B and C, and then three numbers here that we don't know. So 26,352. But of course, we do know now, because A is the smallest and D is the biggest, that B and C are going to be 7 and 8, actually. So B must equal 7 and C must equal 8. So we've got 6, 7, 8, 9. 9, 8, 7, 6. And then 9. Then we just have to figure out where they go in the final number. Although it did ask us for the smallest number, so we can straight away write that down. That is actually our answer. We could stop there if we wanted. but I think it's good to just check that it all works. Okay, we can now line, so I've got a 15 here. To get a 2 here, I'm going to have to put my 7 there. And then I would get 22, so I'm going to carry a 2. Now I've got 15 plus 2, so 17. And I want to get a 5, so I need to put in an 8 here to get to 25. And then I've got 15, 16, 17. If I put a 6 here, I'll get 23. I'll carry the 2. And that'll get me to my 26,000. So that works, and we've carefully worked our way through this to find it. I just want to kind of just summarize what we've done. We've wrote some useful things down to start with. So that A has to be between 1 and 6, and D between 4 and 9. We've got this order occurring. We ruled out D equaling 8. It's just going to end up being too small, so it had to equal 9, and we put that in. And then we've realized because these last two must be less than 10,000, it must be that A is 6, and then I put that in. Actually, it made me, I had to think about it a little bit, but yeah, I just forgot. It must be therefore that B was 7 and C is 8. Put them in as well, and it's just a case of carefully working out the last number, even if it wasn't important to this question, because in terms of, just finding the answer, it must be, the smallest one must be the one that started with a 6. But we followed through and actually found out the sum, and it all worked. Brilliant. Well done.